Jupiter 2 is like a freaking Winnebago. So it's phone booth versus Winnebago. And I think the physics of that is pretty clear. If whoever's driving the Winnebago has had a few too many beers, that's number one, and you're driving, and then suddenly there's this, I gotta pull over, I gotta make a phone call. And a little too fast, you don't brakes fast enough, as you're out in the desert, it's heat, you hit the phone booth goes down. I think that I gotta go with the Jupiter 2.
Darn. I think we need to realize, anyone who's ever seen the original Lost in Space realizes that, like the TARDIS, the Jupiter 2 is bigger on the inside than it is on the outside. So, based on this, and constantly appearing new levels to go to, I gotta say that, the TARDIS, I'm gonna avoid any silly jokes about TARD being in the name, because that's just obvious. But the Jupiter 2 is a very powerful spaceship, and no one can figure out how to drive it or power it. Yeah, it's lost, and it's still awesome. I think, in this case, I think that they would both destroy each other, just out of sheer boredom. So I'm going to have to vote for both of them.
Okay.
Wow, I have no idea what just happened. Well, I do have to say that there's no way the Jupiter 2 would be able to run into the TARDIS because, hello, time travel. And I really think what would happen is the TARDIS would materialize, land inside the Jupiter 2, and then he would pretty much have his pick of companions. So it's obviously the TARDIS is going to pick the Jupiter 2.
The winner of this round. What? How?
The TARDIS wins.
The TARDIS. Now, who?
Interesting.
To quote Townsend, who's next?
There's a little PC battle here. Kal-el spaceship versus Green Lantern's ring.
Welcome to Comic-Con, the first time comics have been mentioned the whole weekend.
Question, because this is very relevant to this pitch battle. What sector of space are we in as far as the Green Lantern's ring is concerned? And whose ring is it? Yeah.
It's Hal Jordan's ring, baby.
So we're in our sector of space.
Yes.
We're within the realm of the
Yellow sun. See where I'm going with this?
That is not, if you've ever been in a car with a you know he's not a goddamn pilot.
We're comparing. Mr. Wolf just said we're comparing equipment and not pilots.
Exactly.
Well, that means the ring doesn't have anyone to wear it, so the ring won't work. Walked into that one.
That just happened, people. That was like some, a few good men shit. You want me on that ring. You need me on that. I'll tell you what, I gotta say that I have to give it to Kal-el's little Starship, because as I said before, best child safety seat ever, number one. Number two, that kid gets to listen to Marlon Brando for light years, which, by the way, is a measure of space and not time.
And John Williams.
And John Williams. It can crash into a planet after catching on fire, leaving the occupant unharmed. And oh, by the way, because it's carrying a baby that happens to be Superman, it has a deployable, ultimate, invincible weapon. Oh, which, by the way, because he is a baby and is given to wearing diapers, has a death blossom. So Kal-el still all the way.
Steve Nelson.
Well, even though Kal-el's ship was able to survive a journey across the 17 known galaxies, pass through a sun, crash.
There's only some.
Green Lantern's ring similarly flew across the cosmos, and found its wearer, Hal Jordan, the one person on the planet capable of wielding its power.
One of four. Guy Gardner.
Well, for that ring, I have to go with Green Lantern's ring.
Oh, interesting. Mr. Wolf.
Well, clearly, Kal-el spaceship is neither made of wood nor is it yellow. So under no version of Green Lantern could he not defeat it. So therefore, Green Lantern's ring will triumph because I'm unsure.
Well, Kay, it just got interesting. 2 versus 2. Where do you weigh on this?
Well, I was just thinking about, since you mentioned comics and franchises and everything, and Green Lantern has not yet disappointed me. So I'm going to pick Green Lantern's ring.
3-2. And to quote this gentleman, that's a smackdown. Damn.
You know, the Kryptonian technology and Kryptonians themselves gain strength from the yellow of the sun in our system. And the Green Lantern's ring has no power over that, which is yellow. So one gains strength, one has no power. Gains strength, has no power. Gains strength, has no power. No, I gotta go with Kal-el.
So not least, there we all. Another tie. Go figure. Now I can break the tie. I count before and I will again. But I'm going to throw it up to the audience.
Do it for the children. Because they're our future.
Okay. If you think Hal Jordan, the ring that Gollum is not looking for, would be the victor, please signify by raising your hand. If you think it would be the Battlestar Galactica, it would be the spaceship sent from Krypton by Marlon Brando. I mean, Jordan, to Earth, signify with the nose. And to the victor goes the spoils. Dan, 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 dan. Also, I just want to play
Lantern has no theme song. In darkest day, in blackest night.
that as long as this panel is, the opening credits to Superman, we're still on. We're doing okay.
We now have the live-action Yamato.
The Yamato.
Versus the Klingon D7 from the original run.
Versus the Midway? What?
Versus the Klingon.
The Klingon D7 battle cruiser. From the original series. Okay, Robert, since you put the Yamato into the competition, we will not start with you, we will end with you. Gary Doctor.
The Yamato was built from the wreckage of an old ship found somewhere at the bottom of the sea. There's a lot of metal fatigue going on in there. Quite a lot. Klingon disruptor technology is far beyond that of a wave motion. Bye-bye to the Yamato. It just can't stand up to the pummeling that a D7 would give it. Over and over again, because the Klingons will not give up ever. I don't trust them. But they'll win.
Okay.
Well, since the Thunder Road, which is also made of scrap metal, could not beat the Sulaco, I feel like this is a similar matchup. And also, I just hate the Yamato. I don't care if it's real, it just bores me. So I gotta go with Klingon for this one.
World War II proved conclusively that battleship technology was a bad idea. Direct fire weapons in space are also a bad idea. And while neither sonic weapons nor wave motion weapons should actually be able to work in space, I will give the Klingons the benefit of the doubt. Klingons, sorry.
Steve Meltzer.
As Mr. Burnett knows, I too have long been a fan of the space battleship Yamato. When I first watched it in Manassas, Virginia.
Holy shit, really?
That's right. Captain 20, dude. That franchise has a theme song. It has thrilling lyrics.
They don't mention the name of the ship in that theme song, but the Japanese version sings.
Yeah, and that makes it lame.
Are you being a racist now?
Not at all. I'm being an e-racist.
The Yamato is piloted by the Star Force, a crew assembled from the very finest of Earth's fleets to travel across 100,000 light years across the galaxy with Queen Starship's wave motion gun technology. It's still the fighter craft. I have to go with the space battleship Yamato.
Are you trained Japanese? I really think so.
I'm gonna break it down more simply. When I was but a lad growing up in Manassas, Virginia, boy, this is so weird. I would run home from school every day to watch the next adventure of Star Blazers. It inspired me, it moved me, it opened up my eyes to what science fiction storytelling could be. In short, it ignited the power of my imagination. When I saw the D7 on screen, I wondered why the Romulans had one too.
Because it's so awesome.
I have never been inspired by the D7. It's a great ship. It's a fine ship. But it's never going to make anybody grow up and want to be anything other than a dude who designs a totally different Klingon cruiser.
You can snap its neck like a twig.
If you could catch it.
Robert.
Well, I would like to point out that the space battleship Yamato carries with it the hopes and dreams of an entire planet that is dying of radiation.
No, it's equipment versus equipment, Robert. Equipment versus equipment.
Hope is equipment.
What my point
It's not a strategy, but it's an equipment.
is that the best of modern Japanese technology fused with Iskandarian equipment,
Toyota.
design work.
Only needs an accelerator to get there in 1 year.
Oh, the Yamato can't stop because its brakes don't work.
All fair arguments, I agree. However, the space battleship Yamato is going to be entering theaters on December 1st, 2010.
Exiting theaters on December 7th.
What, are you going to be like, only in America now? I mean, it doesn't count? We're not the only country in the world, you know. No, the space battleship Yamato just deserves to win because it carries with it the hopes of all humanity, and it does have great Japanese
Except the US
technology.
Japan.
Just because one bad company doesn't mean a whole nation is wrong.
I'm going to Japan is flying cars.
Okay.
Another tie.
We have a tie. And given that I don't believe in cartoons, I will.
As I want to point out, the Yamato is no longer a cartoon. It's
Not until December, Robert. Not until December.
4 minutes.
It's real in my heart.
We once again need the tiebreakers to weigh in. All I will say is the D7. This is so cool. I mean, come on.
Wait a minute, you can't just you can't just say that. How many times did you see a D7 in Star Trek? The first time it was commanded by Romulans. The second time you saw one, it had the Elaine of Troy suits on it.
We gotta move on, Rob. We gotta go fast.
The
We have
energy
15
thing,
minutes.
Day of the Dove, caused it to be destroyed. I mean,
We have 15 minutes left.
do anything.
The Rhinos, you put a cloaking device on them.
Yeah, because
Okay. Yamato signify with a vote of yes. Klingon D7 battlecruiser. And to the victor go the spoils.